The US has sanctioned India. I know it sounds like a headline from the 90s, but it's not. It happened this Wednesday. The US announced sanctions on Indian companies and Indian nationals. Why? For trading with Russia. Nearly 400 entities have been sanctioned and 21 of them are Indian, 21 out of the 400. 19 companies and 2 citizens of India. Now, most of these are electronics and spare parts companies. They have been accused of selling dual-use goods to Russia. What does that mean? Things that have commercial and military uses. They're called dual-use goods, like lasers or drones. Now, the US says these Indian companies sold such dual-use technology to Russia, meaning they indirectly helped Russia's military. And India is not alone. Entities from China, Malaysia, Thailand, and Turkey have also been sanctioned. So now these companies cannot trade with the US. They cannot use American financial institutions, plus their assets in the US will be frozen. Basically, it's a punitive action. And how has India responded to this? We haven't heard from the foreign ministry yet, but these sanctions are not unprecedented. Last November, the US sanctioned another Indian company, SI2 Microsystems. It was accused of selling technology to Russia. This June, the US ambassador to India issued a warning. He said Indian companies trading with Russia would face consequences. So these latest sanctions are not the first of their kind, nor are they coming out of the blue. But the timing is very important. India-US ties are going through a rough patch right now. Washington has accused India of trying to murder a Khalistani, Gurpatwant Singh Pannu. They've charged a former Indian government official in this case. Then last week, India and China announced a border deal, the first step to ending their conflict. And days later, the US has sanctioned 21 Indian entities. So how do we see this move? As a broad campaign against companies backing Russia, or as a targeted campaign on India? Well, both are plausible. You see, India has never supported US sanctions on Russia, nor has it promised to abide by them. Just look at the trade data. India is exporting more engineering goods to Russia now. In 2022, this trade was worth $680 million. In 2023, it rose to $1.3 billion. So India's engineering exports have doubled. Some of this has alerted the US. In fact, let's go through the sanctions list. One of the targeted entities is Ascend Aviation. It's a spare parts company based in Delhi. They're accused of selling 700 shipments to Russia. 700 shipments of what? Aircraft components. Another example is Mask Trans. They allegedly sold $300,000 worth of goods to Russia. A third example is Futrivo. They sold goods worth $1.4 million to Russia, mostly electronic components. These are 3 of the 21 sanctioned entities. It's a classic case of American hypocrisy. They openly arm India's adversaries like Pakistan. And I'm not talking dual use here. I'm talking about pure lethal use goods. Pakistan is said to have 80 plus F-16 fighter jets, all sold to them by the United States of America. Somehow, India is supposed to accept these sales. But God forbid, Indian companies sell some circuits to Russia. They get sanctions and threats. Also, who exactly enforced these sanctions? It wasn't the United Nations. It wasn't any global court. It was America and its Western friends. They pick and choose what to sanction. For example, Russia made up 15% of Europe's gas imports in 2023. How many EU members were sanctioned for that? None, 0. Yet India selling spare parts is a problem. Like I said, classic double standard. Unfortunately, the US has a strategic advantage here. They dominate global financial institutions. They also control crucial payment systems. If they want, they can cut Indian companies off from these systems. That would be a major body blow. At the same time, you cannot let the US push you around. The key here is to find a balance between the two. Until, of course, you have alternatives of your own.